There is a very strong possibility that I've met the man of my dreams and told him to fuck off. There is a very strong possibility that I've met the man of my dreams and told him to fuck off.
First off, I am going to agree with her that yes, she likely did meet the man of her dreams at some point in her life. You guys know when that happened, right? Happened back in her 20s when she was at the peak of her sexual marketplace value. And yes, she did tell him to F off. As a matter of fact, she didn't have just one of these guys come along, right? Who could have been the man of her dreams. She didn't have two of them, three of them. She had dozens of these guys. Let's not kid ourselves here, right? This chick had dozens of these guys back in her youth that came along and offered her the world, offered to take care of her, offered to give her shelter, free housing, free car, free food. You don't have to do a thing, girl. All you have to do is be with me. Okay? And I will take care of everything. She had tons of these high value guys back in her youth just offering her the world like any attractive young woman. And I mean, I'll admit, this chick, even as an older woman, she's still attractive. So imagine how much better she looked even just 10 years ago, right? Just 10 years ago, she was like, the cat's meow back then. She had just a number of these guys coming along, right? Probably every week or every month, just offering to give her the world. And like most young women, she pissed it away. She did not value these guys, right? She did not appreciate these guys. Instead, she took advantage of these guys. She used them for free attention. Might have had sex with a couple of them, might have dated a few of them short term, and then she discarded them. Why? Because like most modern young women today, they think that the party is never going to end. They think there's always going to be another bus that comes along, another train that comes along. So, don't need to stay on this one. I'll just catch the next. Right? And it gets to the point where they become so entitled in their youth, right? In their prime. These girls become so entitled that they take things for granted, right? Not only do they take the men for granted, but they even take their own youth and fertility for granted. They just assume that it's never going to expire. They assume that the attention is never going to stop. It's very much like being, like an up and coming musician or rapper or up and coming professional athlete, right? You have all of these people who want your attention. All these people are throwing you, globs of money, endorsement deals, contracts, and you just have it coming from everywhere. And it gets to the point where you start to buy into your own hype, right? And this is why it's really not good to experience success when you're too young. Right? When you're too young to handle it, because you tend to have this false belief that you are bulletproof and that you can do no wrong and that life is never going to throw you a curveball. Why? Because things are going good. So you just assume things are going to continue going good. And that's just not how life works, right? But unfortunately, you don't learn this lesson until you get older, right? You get older and then you realize, shit, life does not work that way. And, thankfully for me, I didn't experience success early. I experienced success later in life. I mean, back when I was in my 20s, I was getting in a lot of trouble. I was getting arrested. Cops were parking outside my parents' house, looking for me. I was constantly just, doing dumb things, right? And then it wasn't until I started to hit my 30s that I started to clean up my act, because I'm like, hey, man, I'm getting kind of old, right? I started cleaning up my act, and I started to just put just all of that like energy and focus towards just becoming something bigger, right? Just doing the right thing and being responsible and becoming a man and, just killing the boy inside of me. What have I told you guys? You cannot become a man until you kill the boy inside of you. Either way, regardless, when you are young and you have the world at your feet, it's very easy to get caught up in that type of reality where you think that this is just going to go on and on and on and it's never going to end, you know? And unfortunately, it does end, right? And usually it ends badly. It doesn't end good, right? You see people who achieve success very early in life when they were young and they didn't know how to handle it, right? What happens to those people? They end up going broke, right? They end up going broke. Look at a lot of these professional athletes who had these just gigantic multi-million-dollar contracts and deals and endorsements, right? When they were fresh out of college. And then fast forward later in their career when they got, when they get older, when they get replaced by younger players and nobody wants them anymore, the contracts aren't coming in, they retire. What happens? That money goes, right? The money goes because they never change their spending habits, right? The money just goes. Or you see these rappers or these musicians who are like one-hit wonders. They have like one song, one album, and then, that makes them big, and then they try to build a career off that, and then they can't. And the more times that goes by, the more frustration sets in. Like, I'm not making the same kind of money I was before. People are not believing in me like they used to. These contracts, these endorsement deals aren't coming around anymore. And then you start to panic, because you don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to handle it. And you just, you look back on your life and you're like, shit, I really took all that for granted. And then you have this rude awakening where you're like, man, this sucks, right? This sucks. So for this young lady, well, she's not a young lady. For this older woman, don't feel bad for her, right? A lot of beta orbiters will watch her video, and I guarantee the comments on that video alone, right? The comments on that video alone where she was like, oh, I probably told a guy before to F off. I met my forever man, but I told him to F off. There are probably a lot of orbiters in her comments going, oh, it's okay, girl. We all make mistakes, but here I am. As if she's going to choose one of those guys. It's like, dude, no, right? No. These chicks who talk like that, what they want is they want their fame back, right? They want their celebrity back. They want that same level of attention that they used to get from men, mostly high-value men. Okay, they want that back when they hit their 30s. But you know what? As I've said over and over, and I warn the younger girls who follow my channel, don't blow your 20s. It only happens once, right? Do not blow it. You're only going to be young and hot once in your life. And that's going to end, right? That's in your 20s. That's your prime time to take advantage of it. No different than a professional athlete, right? Or a musician or, celebrity. Usually you hit when you're in your 20s, right? You will usually hit when you're in your 20s. And you know what? When you hit, you need to take advantage of it. You need to just pile up that money. You need to learn how to invest it. You need to learn how to be responsible. You need to come to the realization that it's going to end one day. You're not going to have, right? You're not going to have this level of fame and celebrity that you do now. So you need to take advantage of it and don't piss it away. Don't take it for granted. Be thankful for it, that you have it, and do the right thing. Okay, that way when you're in your 30s and you're with your high value man and you're settled down, maybe you have a family, maybe you have a couple of kids together, and you're living in a great neighborhood with him, a nice gated neighborhood with him where you feel safe, you feel secure. He's got a great job, or he's got a great business or a great career. You're financially, you guys are good. You won't be like scratching your head like a lot of modern women today going, what happened? What happened? Where have all the good men gone? Oh, men suck. Feminism's right. Men suck. It's like, no, men don't suck. You suck, right? You suck. You made bad decisions in your 20s. You chose to follow the narrative of chasing your career or riding the carousel. I got to pump up my body count, all this other stuff. And then one day you wake up and you're in your 30s and it's all over, right? It's all over. The crowds aren't cheering for you anymore. The endorsement deals have stopped. Nobody wants you to play for their team anymore. It's over, right? It's over. And it's a very harrowing experience. I've seen it happen way too many times. I mean, I've been out there doing pickup and game for the last 3 decades. I remember the girls in the, even as far back as the 90s that I approached back then that were like in their late teens, early 20s. And, You know what? Very few of them were smart enough to cash it in. I mean, some did, right? I applaud them. Some did. And they're still married to this day, which is funny. And I applaud them for that. Whereas the majority did not. They thought they could stay out there and keep clubbing and keep going out, or have these boyfriends on the side who will put up with them going and partying and running off with their girlfriends on these girls' trips and all this stuff. And you know what? Fast forward 2-3 decades later, these chicks are still single. Still single, no man. Can't lock down. Yeah, they can barely even lock down a beta orbiter who's decent looking with a good job. I mean, they're just trying to get what they can. Trying to get what they can, because now they're in their late 30s, 40s, and they're just trying to get what they can. A lot of them became single moms, right? Not only have they ruined their life, but they ruined the life of that child, right? So now they're just trying to get whatever they can. And you know how the old expression goes. Beggars can't be choosers, okay? Beggars can't be choosers. When you're in your prime and you're at the peak and the height of your SMV, your sexual marketplace value, that is the time, okay? That is the time to take full advantage and find and do what you need to do, because that's when you have the most power as a female. As a man, you know, fortunately, we have more time, right? We have more time. I mean, I'm living proof of that. I pissed away my 20s getting in trouble and doing dumb stuff and just kind of, you know, it's like all a big blur now, right? And I picked up the pieces in my 30s. You could do that as a man. And you know what? Most men do, because we mature later in life. We don't mature until later in life. So we can pick up the pieces. But this is why it goes back to the old saying that I've taught you guys, is that for a woman, dating is not designed to work in your favor after the age of 30. Okay? Dating is not designed to work in your favor after the age of 30. You know whose favor it's designed to work in? Men. Okay? After the age of 30, dating works in your favor, guys. But when you're in your 20s, guess what? Dating really won't work in your favor. Why? Because your peers, the girls who are your age, can get the high value guys with money, with jobs, with careers, with life experience. Right? They don't want to date some little boy. I mean, not all of them, but, you know, I mean, some will, and those are usually the lower tier girls. But the girls who are like super hot, they know their value, they know their worth, those girls, they're not going to settle for a guy their own age. I mean, I've dated a number of girls in their 20s where I asked them, like, how come you don't date guys your age? They're like, ugh, so immature, playing Xbox all day. Yeah, they have no life. No, you know, they don't even know what they want to do with themselves, you know, and it's like, that's a huge turnoff for these girls. So understand, dating is not designed to work for women after the age of 30. And this is why you got to cash in your chips before you turn 30. Otherwise, you end up like this chick out there on TikTok, of all places. I mean, TikTok is for kids, in my opinion. I'm like, what is this chick doing on TikTok? She's already in her 30s. TikTok are for like teenagers, right? I don't even like using TikTok. I don't even have an account on TikTok. I have no plans on using it. Just use it to review a lot of these vids that we've been uploading lately. But I don't spend any time on TikTok outside of that. I just have no desire. And to me, it looks like a big, like middle school. It's like middle school online. So the fact that this chick's in her 30s and she's, you know, complaining on TikTok, I mean, that should tell you right there. You know, this chick, A, she needs to grow up. And B, she needs to deal with the fact that she didn't cash in her chips early enough. And that dating is not designed to work in your favor after the age of 30. And that is why you want to take advantage when you're still young and hot. And with that said, drop your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think about her little rant tonight, as well as my own. And these women out there who are becoming what we call leftover women, right? She's one of them. She's become one of these leftover women. And we're seeing more and more of that in society. More and more of these leftover women just getting left behind because they did not close the deal when they should have. When they had that negotiating power, when they had leverage, right? They did not close the deal. Why do you think athletes always try to get the most money they can in the first few years of their professional sports career? Because that's when they're performing their best. That's when they're the youngest, the strongest. That is when, you know, they have the world at their fingertips. They can't be pulling that off in their 30s, right? In their 30s, I mean, unless you're like a Tom Brady or something. I mean, even look at Tom Brady. They traded his ass away. Still don't believe him. The guy just won a Super Bowl at, what, 44 years old? And they still, like, people are still doubting him. I mean, it just, this is why you got to take advantage when you're young. Right? But again, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video and her rant as well as mine. Love to see you guys in my comments. I love to read them. And with that said, I'm going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Go ahead and smash that like button below. Do it now. Also, hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you guys subscribe, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. And for all you guys who want to support my work and all of this incredible, amazing red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I am teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I am talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, baby. The hottest women on the planet. Okay, I teach you how to do that in 7 Months of Mastery. And you know what? I have tons, thousands upon thousands of successful students now all around the world. Okay, a lot of these guys often drop comments in my comment section talking about how they're in my program, they've met their dream girl, they've met their future wife. I've had a number of students who've been through my 7 Months of Mastery program already met their wife thanks to my teachings, right? They met a high value, high caliber, hot wife, right? Way above what they were able to get previously before they jumped into my program, 7 Months of Mastery. They were able to get a girl who was much, much more attractive, much hotter, and much higher value thanks to my teachings. And you know what? I want you to become one of them. Even if you don't plan on getting married, find yourself a cool chick, a high value chick, not one of these like low value, like DG single moms or, you know, women who are passive prime or damaged goods or anything like that. I want to teach you how to go out there and get high value women, just like my students are all around the world. You can become one of us. And all you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds and it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. So it's only $1 for the entire first month of high value coaching lessons from me. So take advantage of it. And it's the best way to support my work, guys. And thank you very much if you do. I appreciate it. Thanks in advance. And let's crack on out of here.